Let's talk about fast travel in Ultima Online. Take a moment to review any unfamiliar terms. First up is a magical spell called Recall. This is a spell reliant on the skill Magery. It's a 4th level spell requiring a minimum of 11 mana to cast. You may directly cast the spell so long as you have the right ingredients or reagents, that being one of each: Black Pearl, Blood Moss, and Mandrake Root. Should you have a recall scroll, you may successfully recall using 11 mana and no reagents. Various Magery spell scrolls are available via loot, bought from a vendor, or crafted by an inscriptionist. The minimum Magery skill to attempt recall is 0. The odds of you successfully casting the spell are about the same. When you fail to cast a spell, you will fizzle. The more proficient in Magery you are, the better your odds will be. To master a natural cast of the recall spell using reagents, you will need a minimum of 70.1 Magery skill. However, were you to use a recall scroll, you will cast the spell as though it was 2 levels lower. So, a 4th level recall spell using a scroll will require a 2nd level spell's skill. In this case, 50.1. Recall would be useless were it not for another 6th level Magery spell, Mark. Using 20 mana, this spell binds an item called a rune at a specific location. Should you have a minimum of 90.1 Magery and one of each Black Pearl, Blood Moss, and Mandrake Root, you may cast the spell flawlessly. However, using a Mark scroll will only require 70.1 skill. Now there's a familiar number. A rune, that item that you cast the spell upon, can be purchased from mages. Stand at a location, cast the Mark spell, and target your blank rune. Easy peasy. Some locations will automatically name your freshly marked rune, for example, cities. Otherwise, when single-clicked, the rune will be mysteriously labeled. You may double-click a marked rune and rename it something more memorable. Runes are great and portable, but in abundance can be very hard to organize. In comes rune books to the rescue. Think of them as containers for your runes. Runebooks are a craftable item requiring the inscription skill that can store up to 16 marked runes. An added bonus, they may also hold 9 to 10 recall spell charges. Using these charges will use the same skill level check of the character's Magery as though the player were using a recall scroll. With the right materials on hand, a scribe with 100 skill and inscription should never fail to craft a basic runebook with 9 possible recall charges. However, they do have a 50% chance to create an exceptional runebook with 10 charges, and the option to apply their maker's mark. To use a runebook, first, mark a rune. Drop the rune on a closed runebook, open the runebook, and choose your preferred method of travel. You may opt to drop recall scrolls onto the book to load the aforementioned charges into it. This isn't required, but if used in the field, comes highly recommended. Runebooks are a valued tool in Ultima Online. Given enough time and exploration, a player may create a personal library of locations, or even a public one. Runebooks require time, money, and effort, thus a player should be mindful carrying them outside of guarded territories. They can also be stolen, contrary to popular belief. A thief may make a desperate grab at a player, and among all the items on the player capable of being stolen, the runebook may be randomly selected and, of course, taken. Unless you bless the runebook. Yes, with enough platinum currency, a runebook may be blessed. This will remain with the player upon death and cannot be stolen unless... Never place your runebook, and especially a blessed runebook, inside a container within your main backpack. Fair warning. Gate travel is much like the recall spell with an extra kick. This spell uses 40 mana and creates a temporary moon gate to a location where the blank rune was marked. When open, any player can enter the gate. Think of it like mass transportation. A Grandmaster Mage has an 85% chance to naturally cast this spell while consuming one of each Black Pearl, Mandrake Root, and Sulphurous Ash. Should the same mage cast the spell using a prepared gate travel scroll, they should expect 100% success. Once opened, the moon gate may supply two-way travel for several players, pets, or even containers full of items for 30 seconds. To use, a player may walk over the gate or stand within one tile and double-click the gate to use it. If the gate leads to an unguarded area, the player will receive a warning giving them the opportunity to continue or decline continuation of travel. Gate travel is good for assisted travel of other players. That said, it's not foolproof. Remember, anyone may enter the moon gate once cast, even while hidden or stealthed. Also, a player-created moon gate may be disrupted using Dispel Field. Dispel Field is a 5th level magery spell that will remove several field-type spells like Fire Field or Energy Field, and even freshly cast moon gates. Think of a gate travel created moon gate as two parts of a two-way travel system. One being the point of origin where the spell was cast, and the other, of course, being where the rune was marked. Apply this knowledge to the outcome of the Dispel Field's results. Once cast on one gate on one side, it will remove 50% of that gate's functionality. The other side of the moon gate is still open and available for one-way travel. I recommend creating a gate travel macro. Used with caution, this can open the door to mass transit of goods too heavy for one player or pack mules to carry. This is best done in combination with a macro using the Razor application. You may set up one where your character casts the gate, and another one for simply entering the gate, or a combination of the two. I myself recommend separate macros. These macros will allow you to pick up a bag full of heavy items, press your macro hotkey, and automatically enter and accept the warning message of a moon gate. This technique opens the proverbial door on many possibilities to enhance your character's quality of life. However, these techniques can also open an equal amount of opportunity for other players that may have nefarious intentions. Fair warning, always travel with caution. And there you have it, fast travel in Ultima Online. Good luck and have fun.